You forgot to call me your alpha today, Princess.
Did you drink your
Where
water
was
today?
your morning text message, Princess? Did you save me your socks, Princess? Welcome in, everybody. Hey, hi, hello. My name is OT, otherwise known as One Topher, one top at a time. You might know me from Twitch. You might know me from YouTube. But if you don't know me yet, more than welcome to try to get to know me as we find out who is the a-hole. With Beeps, that's the little Beeps over here.
It's
Little
me!
Beeps is actually a
I've
giant
been
person.
the a-hole the whole time.
Beeps and I substantially, physically, are very similar in proportions and also similar as individuals. Look at us. We have hair. We have beard. We have purse. I don't even seen that TikTok, but we have sunglasses. Look at how similar.
Wait, is
Look
titties
at that.
okay?
We're like,
How does the sensor like titties?
don't show raw.
Uh-oh.
titty.
No, I'm not showing raw titties, but is the word titties okay for sensors?
You know, I think if you say it 5 times, it's probably fine at that point. AITA for ignoring our daughter's inconvenient boundary.
My wife,
Ready.
39F, and I,
My wife.
36F, have a daughter, technically my stepdaughter, but I've raised her since she was 5, 19F, from a previous relationship of my wife's. Her father is not in the picture, who has come
My
back
wife.
home after her first year at uni. She's picked up a new and problematic issue since she was last home for an extended period of time surrounding laundry. Basically, she has established a boundary where nobody is to touch her clothes. Her reasoning is that she's concerned something will go missing / get damaged, thinks it's just gross for us to go through her stuff, and is an adult who deserves privacy. All fine, we have 3 young children in our home, 9F, 9F, and 2M, so plenty of washing to keep us entertained. The issue is that she has a habit of monopolizing washing facilities to the extent where we're effectively prevented from being able to get any other laundry done. For example,
Oh, so she'll like leave her stuff in the machine. Oh.
last weekend she put a wash in before work and hung it out on the line at around 11 a.m. She then left for work, 12 to 10 p.m. Her wash was dry within an hour, and obviously she wasn't going to be back all day. We had a few days worth of washing to get through, so my wife, her mom, took everything off the line and folded it. We got through 5 other loads that day. She was not happy when she got home. She said she'd been very clear that we weren't to touch her things. When we explained the situation above, she said it was first come, first served. Not something we've ever said, and that since the next day was due to be nice also, we should have just waited to get through it the next day.
Do we expect a teenager to communicate as politely as we expect a regular average adult to communicate? Because they've set up a boundary, they're upset that the boundary is crossed, and they're not going to be as succinct or kind in the way that they express their frustration with that boundary being crossed.
We've offered her a weekly laundry day where we'll avoid using the machine so she can have the freedom to do as she pleases on that day, but she said once a week won't cut it. Fair enough, but there are 5 other people in the house that need clean clothes / bedding / towels. Other than that, all we can really suggest is that she keeps on top of her washing. If she's at home, we'll ask her to clear her clothes from the machine / dryer / washing line as needed, but like any 19-year-old, she has a social life / work commitments and is often busy. She's upset because she says we're not respecting her boundaries, whereas we pointed out that while "don't move my clothes" is objectively reasonable, it's not fair for her to do so at the inconvenience of everyone else in our home. Essentially, the last conversation we had ended up with her in tears because she said as long as situations like Saturday keep occurring, we'll continue to move her stuff. Just FYI, we do fold her clothes carefully, leave them in a basket in a communal living area so that they're kept together in good condition, and we're not going in and out of her room. We normally have a good relationship with her, so this is all a bit unusual. We've asked her if everything else is okay, and she says yes, and seems otherwise normal in and of herself, and she's normally reasonable. Are we being unreasonable?
I'm trying to hear this with the lens that this is also being written by the parent who feels slighted in the scenario. So the messaging that they're conveying is very much from their perspective of what is reasonable, what is unreasonable, what has happened, what hasn't happened, from what they recall of the situation. So when they're saying she cried because this, is that the case? I'm trying to balance that in my head as we're going along. We don't know how much other communication happened. As the story is conveyed, I see I'm being led towards a very convenient solution, but I am sus of these kinds of stories.
People on Am I the A-Hole were capable of clear, concise constructive communication, we wouldn't have this subreddit.
Most of the posts, yeah.
But that is why on your Bing hole square, the middle space, your free space, is communication.
As it's been conveyed, they didn't inform her that they were going to be crossing the boundary, despite having apparently plans to already be doing laundry that day. We're not getting the whole picture here.
I do think it is unreasonable to say, don't touch my stuff, don't touch any of my clothes.
In every circumstance, with no caveats, yes.
You know, with no like room for wiggle room when you're taking up the entire communal laundry situation with 5 other people for 12 hours. Edit number 1. So the consensus is pretty much that we're right and our daughter is being massively unreasonable and that we're being pushovers for not being tougher on her from the off. We've shown her the comments.
That's how you wrote this story.
Okay. And unfortunately, she's still insisting that we're the unreasonable ones. We'd never considered the local laundromat and have banned her from using our washing machine for the next fortnight, given she's still unwilling to adjust. She's absolutely furious, and the wife has ordered a lock on the washroom door to enforce the 2-week rule. Hopefully a couple of weeks hauling her stuff to and from will help her see the light. Thanks very much, all. That.
Okay, all right. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Now, when I said that they were writing the story to show themselves as the victor in this, the innocent party that had done nothing wrong, hold on. We now see consequences for these conversations is not further communication, but just putting up. She's 19. She's a legal adult. Is she paying rent to be here?
So
regardless, she has some rights within the home as an adult, and being locked out of facilities that are part of the home does seem a bit unreasonable.
That does seem unreasonable.
We're just being pushovers. We're the victims.
Instead of continuing communication,
my radar was going off
and coming up with a good actual compromise for here, locking her completely out and saying, go use the laundromat.
Why would they compromise? They're the adults. They're the parents. What are you talking about?
Right.
The children should compromise.
They're still viewing her as a child to be controlled and not an adult to be worked with. Edit number 2.
Oh, God, a second edit. Okay.
A slightly calmer update this morning. Our daughter came to talk to us and apologized for the situation. She said she had found the transition back home hard. I get that. And had maybe become a bit territorial over her stuff while at university. That does make sense.
Can I pause this for a moment?
Yes.
Can I pause this? The child is now forced to maintain the role of the adult and try to make compromises, try to make good, try to make amends, because she's now put in a position where the only solution to this is to be the bigger person.
Yep. A bit territorial of the stuff while at uni. All okay. She then asked if she could please have a laundry day and be allowed to use the machine, which is one of the compromises that the parents gave in the first place.
So would that perhaps be work uniform stuff? She needs to be washing her work uniform more than once a week because she only has one work uniform. See, parts of this story is just there's holes.
She then asked if she could please have a laundry day and be allowed to use the machine. Her place of work is closed Mondays. That's now her day.
Okay.
And we've said that she can use the machine on other days, but if by 7 a.m. Tuesday there's anything in the way or any issues on any other days, we'll be moving her stuff. A genuine sorry goes a long way with us, and while the advice has been to hold firm, we don't really want an issue if the situation can be resolved calmly. We've also made it clear that if her things do have to be moved on any day other than Monday, which is totally hers, and we get any grief about it, we'll go back to a 2-week ban and there's no going back. If you have any problems or complain at all ever, 2-week ban on laundry.
They said that we want to find a calm approach to this, a way to resolve this without, too much friction. They put an entire lock on the door and just said, you're locked out.
Yeah, right. Would this be what you came to as a solution if this were a 19-year-old that you took in that had no familial connection to you?
Well, no, because a legal adult would have legal protections. A roommate would have a lot of protections against you locking them out from the facilities. Of course not.
If you had a friend come over and they accidentally broke a dish of yours, would you put that friend over your knee and spank them? Probably not. There are some circumstances where you maybe would do that when you're like, Princess, you broke a plate. You know what that means. Daddy has to do the punishment. But most of the time,
it's time for a punishment.
Most of the time, you'd be like, it's no big deal. Let's sweep it up. Move on. Children are just small humans. This is actually not a post on AITA. This is on Tfue.
The character from Smashing Weapons Together.
Do you want me to say what it is after you grilled me for saying asshole?
Green hair
Today,
and the
it's from
circular
Today
blade?
I Fucked Up, OT. That's what the post is from. It's from Today I
That's
Fucked
crazy.
Up.
Did we just get disconnected? It's so weird. It feels like
Am I the Whole by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas?
I deleted my prediction. It was running for 30 seconds that time. How do people do this?
30 seconds. That's pretty fast. That's a fast hole.
How do I?
30 seconds, princess. That's pretty fast.
Princess.
That's
How
a
do I-
pretty fast.
Oh, that's twice as long as last time, Princess.
Twice as long.
Twice as long. Hold on. Okay, so slash
Earlier
prediction.
this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kits.
You just keep going.
I thought
I'll
it would
figure
be a
this out.
great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today, my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later, she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids need to take it since we will all have the same results, and to resell extra kits to save money. Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who has a different dad. Oh, there's 2 updates. Yes. TLDR, I bought everyone in the family Ancestry DNA kits for Christmas. My mom started freaking. Now our parents are fighting, and my dad might not be my dad. Oh, no. Update number 1. Thank you all so much for the love and support. My sister's brother and I have not yet decided if we are going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we will still love each other and our parents no matter what. Update 2. Christmas isn't ruined. My F-up actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for our mom. Last night, she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget, and yes, we're all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, okay. Am I the bad guy for refusing to lend my friend my domicile for her wedding after she asked me for a paternity test, resulting in her having to cancel the wedding? Sorry.
I've got 81%.
I'm sorry. I'm coming down a little bit hard. Let me come down easier. What is the opposite of that? Let me go up easy.
You're not beating these allegations right now.
What am I being alleged of having been doing?
I don't know. Princess.
Well, princess.
I've got 81% not the whole, 19% for whole.
Princess. Perhaps we could figure out an arrangement. You could trade me your socks, princess. No, princess.
I'll give
not,
you half of my
not the
Wingos if you
fresh
give me your
socks,
socks.
princess. I want the socks you are wearing right now, princess.
Give me the
Yes.
socks from the gym, princess.
All right, ads are over. Let's do this. Here we go. Advice needed is the flair. My friend Sandra and I have known each other for over 20 years. We are 30 and 32.
It's a long time.
Sandra is getting married to Andres, and I am married to Lan. Some relevant information. Andres and I originally come from the same country and even the same region. We share many characteristics. We both have a very round face, deep brown eyes, long straight black hair, etc. If you didn't know better, you might assume we are siblings. I met Andres 6 years ago and introduced him to Sandra. He proposed 2
Okay.
years ago.
Okay.
Giggity. I own a beautiful property in my home country that I was ready to lend to Sandra and Andres for their wedding.
Very
My
nice.
property is like a finca. finna be good. Usually, I would rent it out for weddings at a somewhat high price, as it is a finca. But I was happy to give it to them at no cost, with the condition that they hire their own catering and have their guests strip the beds when they leave.
That
The
seems
issue.
reasonable, right?
Yeah, so far that's fine. That's like,
Yeah, this is
can you get them
all-
to like roughly tidy up? Like, don't
Yeah.
make too much of a mess. Don't ruin my house. And also, can you bring your own food? Because I'm not going to pay for people to come bring you food at your wedding. I
Right.
think that's fair if you're letting out a place with 10 rooms and you have your own estate.
Right.
The issue. 3 months ago, Sandra became more reclusive. She wouldn't answer my texts, and we didn't meet up. 2 weeks ago, she appeared at my door with Andres. They sat us down, my husband included, and she suspected that my daughter is actually Andres' biological daughter and requested a paternity test for peace of mind. What?
Oh.
Hold on.
So
Hold
they
on. We're
suspected
gonna go over to
that
Andres. They sat down,
OP
husband included.
and Land's daughter is Andres's, not the other way
So-
around.
So the friend is saying that Andres slept with the friend who has the big house with 10 rooms.
Yes.
And they need a paternity test before the wedding can go forwards because the baby that they themselves OP has is probably Andres because they've known each other for longer. That's the only reason they can come up with that. That must be.
I guess. Could you imagine someone showing up and be like, "You my husband. I need a paternity test right now."
I mean, obviously, I am the alpha. I was so shocked that I couldn't say anything. My husband lost his temper and raised his voice, telling Sandra that she was being absolutely stupid. Sandra pointed out that my daughter looks like Andres. Well, they look the same. I explained that Andres and I look alike, which anyone with eyes could see.
Obviously.
She kept shaking her head, saying my daughter would look like more like my husband and not like my exact copy. That's not
how that
unfair.
works.
It's not unfair of a critique, though, because children don't pop out as carbon copies.
Right.
Usually. The evening ended poorly. I agreed to the test if they paid for it. The results came back Friday, showing that Andres was not the father. We also did a test confirming that my husband is the father. Sandra cried and tried to hug me. Ew. I told her I didn't want to, and that I didn't want to be friends with her for the time being.
Real.
She kept saying her worries were justified and made a comment about, quote, women from your country being more likely to do that.
Oh my God!
No.
Oh my God! What?
In that moment, I was filled with anger. I told her she could forget about using the venue and that I didn't want her in my life anymore. She started crying, but I made her leave. Her mom and she have been texting me saying that they can't find a new venue. I still said no.
Yeah, I don't
20
care.
minutes ago, Sandra called me sobbing, saying that the wedding is off because of me.
No.
Am I the whole? Should I have at least let her use the venue at the usual price, or what? Or was what I did okay?
No.
In it, Andres was not chill about this. He seemed exasperated. He was quite upset and basically just agreed to this so she would drop it. I didn't include it because I did not see the relevance for the conflict between me and her. Update? You want to take us home?
They are no longer together. Sandra wrote me an email apologizing and, for some reason, PayPal'd me
$25.67.
Anyway, thanks for weighing in. We
Oh, for
broke
the
up.
test.
Here's
For the
25
test.
bucks. Oh, for the test. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that makes
okay.
sense.
That makes more sense. Can I tell you the name of someone who just subbed?
Yes.
Duty ?
Duty ? I like it.
People are so creative on Twitch. It makes me look back and think like, damn, I could have picked literally any name for my career. And I went with this that's so hard to meme on.
Do you happen to remember the Send Bob's music video? Do you remember the Send Bob song?
What?
Have you not heard of Send Bob's?
I don't
Anyway,
think
that's
so.
not important. My chat has taken to gifting subs to any account with milk in the name.
Oh no.
And the amount of different accounts with the word milk in it is literally endless. I'm convinced there are infinite milk accounts now, because no matter what we're talking about, no matter what the subject matter is, there's an account with milk in the name related to that subject matter. And there's just so many.
I have a gift sub
Ooh.
just now to Milk is on a t-shirt. Did you start a new meme in my chat? Are we gonna be gifting subs over to people named Milk?
Oh no, OT! I've corrupted you with milk! My milk is spilling over! Princess, my milk is spilling.
My princess! My milky princess.